Is this heaven?
No, it's a podcast. Welcome to the Field of Geeks podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 114 of the Field of Geeks podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Mitch.
And I'm Joey.
I got a full house today. This is great.
I know.
It's a holiday season.
I miss Steve.
I know, he's coming
Bob Saget's going to come
next
back.
time.
No,
Yes.
I don't want Bob Saget here.
Oh, Bob Saget.
Well, if you like Fuller House, there's more episodes out there now.
Oh, did that come out already?
Yeah, I saw it this morning. It said new episodes.
Oh,
My kids love that show. It's a guilty pleasure, I'll admit it.
It's a great show. It's
Turn your brain off.
Also, you shouldn't have guilty pleasures. If you like something, like even though,
I guess,
yeah,
yeah.
especially if you know like it's not great, just like yeah, I like it, but you know,
I think a guilty
don't.
pleasures.
I mean, I wouldn't go around bragging about it. Just it's not like Game of Thrones.
No,
It's not like you check out the latest Fuller House. You gotta get caught up on it. It's so good.
DJ's hot. What?
All of them turned out really good looking.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yay.
John Stamos.
I don't think he's aged since like
No.
94.
No. He's like Jeff Goldblum. The more he ages, the better he looks. And that's just from a guy's point of view. I mean,
Right.
if I could only be as blessed as those two.
Yeah, and the hair.
Then
Yeah.
you'd be on ER.
Oh.
Like John Stamos for like
Err.
that season or two or something.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just call it
Too hard.
So what's next on the agenda?
Next on
Actually, that was the next topic. Never mind.
ER,
Sure.
the revamp,
Yeah.
the inevitable reboot. I'm surprised they haven't redone that actually.
ER.
Yeah.
Well, Dick Wolf now has those new hospital cop shows. So wait, never mind. Dick Wolf didn't do ER.
No.
Scrap that. I'm way off. I'm way off my NBC knowledge. I'm so sorry.
No, Dick Wolf was like the guy who did all the Law and Order stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing Chicago PD, I think now.
God, that's a horrible show.
They're all horrible. There's this one on Fox. It's a.
We're so sorry, Dick
something.
Wolf, if you're listening.
No, just bring back Law and Order and keep SVU going.
Law and Order SVU's already going.
I know.
like
Well,
it.
that's what I was saying. Keep it going, but then bring back Law and Order, the
I tuned
original.
out of SVU a long time ago. I love the original Law and Order. Like,
Yeah.
I just wish they would have.
Christopher Maloney was like, and Mariska Hargitay
Should
were.
have brought him over to Law and Order.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad he moved on because like until then I hadn't seen him in anything else, and like I didn't know that he could do more than just that serious.
I mean, he was
Cop role.
huge before that. Well,
I didn't know anything about it. That's the
Oz,
thing. I didn't know
yeah.
anything about him
Yeah.
because like he was in Wet Hot American Summer and he was hilarious in that.
Did he do all the
Man of Steel? What?
He did all the follow-ups in the prequel series, right? To,
Pretty
or whatever
sure,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Man of Steel, I thought, oh, he's a movie star now. He's going
Yeah.
to, I mean, he was in movies before.
All right.
I was like, oh, it sounds like he's going to do a trilogy of films.
He's part of the DC. Oh, he died.
I feel bad for him
Or
because
he's just
that was
in the
a
Phantom Zone.
that was a great choice, and then he just zaps himself into the Phantom Zone.
Well, with that doctor, too. I thought that was
Yeah.
a great character, the guy from West Wing.
Yeah.
I was very excited. And it's like, bye.
Have you ever seen him like do anything other than he's kind of like the Michael Cera of acting
Oh,
in
he
a way.
always does the same
He-
character.
it's just
Maloney?
no,
the doctor guy.
the doctor guy, the guy that was in West Wing. He always has that lower lip quiver.
Emil Hamish.
Yeah, and he's always got that lower lip quiver, and then he's always a real monotone kind of guy.
He was in Lost World.
He was. I'm not dissing his acting
No
ability.
beard.
He's
We're talking about the same guy. He was in
the
Ballers.
bald dude.
He's not bald. He's got like the ring around his head.
Yeah, he's got the horseshoe, the Picard.
Yeah. He's in Ballers
Oh, really?
with The Rock and
Oh, cool.
John David Washington from Black Klansman. They're both in
Ooh.
that. But he's good. He's like a investor or like he had his own sports like management company, and then I don't know, a bunch of stupid crap happened. I don't pay like heavy attention to the show, but it's a good show.
It's Richard Schiff I'm talking
Richard
about.
Schiff.
This
Yeah,
Yeah,
guy.
that's the guy.
Yeah.
He's in Ballers.
Yeah.
Really? Good for him. Good for him. Excellent. Well,
Super duper.
speaking of Ballers, Daddy's Home. Supernatural 300th episode
Oh yeah.
titled Lebanon. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is returning.
Lebanon on a prayer. Go ahead.
The
Beat me
comedian.
to it. That was the new song they were gonna have. It was beautiful. Jeffrey Dean Morgan's returning as John Winchester.
Hell yeah.
He is Sam and Dean's father. For those who don't know, this is a show that's been on for 12, 13 years now.
Like right around, like I think,
It's
like
crazy.
when Smallville was like halfway through. I think that's when it started.
Was that a CW show?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
well, it was
good.
WB at first, and then it.
Wow.
It's kind of a show where like you can just fall into it and not really know the whole mythology. Like
Yeah.
I found myself like, oh, I get it. They're both
Yeah.
hunters or whatever, and I try to go back and watch the first episode. I think I watched 2 of them, and I liked them
Yeah.
just so much. It's a lot to catch up on, but this is a big deal though because Jeffrey Dean Morgan was in the first season and he hasn't been seen since the second season.
He
So
was
it's
in
been
like,
over 11 years since
he was
the
in like the
show.
second. He was in the first episode of the second season, and that was it.
He was like missing, and they had to go find him. I think that's what brought them together, right? Their
In the
father-
first season, yeah,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the second season he dies.
Yeah, they look so young. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize how much they've aged, but yeah, it's remarkable. For
You
sure
hear that?
to
You're
be on
old.
long. So, well, if
You
they ever
was
come on,
old.
I'll apologize.
I really hope they don't make any like Negan jokes.
They've already
No.
done
They've
a-
made like 5, and it's like, all right, we got
right.
it.
The bat was in their trunk, right?
The bat, and like they've made other jokes, and it's just like, all right, we got it.
I know.
Make
It's-
Thomas Wayne jokes.
Yes.
I know, man. I wish he would.
Make Flashpoint Batman jokes.
That's my biggest gripe. Is like, bring him into the freaking. Give me Thomas Wayne somehow.
Well,
some way.
we-
Just do it.
But yeah, in that regard, like
I mean,
don't
do it right, not just.
in that regard, don't rush Flashpoint though. Like,
I know,
don't make that the first Flash.
but he's
movie.
getting older. And that's all my whole
Yeah,
concern
but
is.
he looks fine. Like he doesn't look,
Yeah,
older.
right. It's true. Yeah.
His donkey bit him in the ass or something, and he's still kicking. So he actually has like donkeys, and one like I don't know why it just like bit him like right around the ass.
Really?
It left like a huge bruise.
He showed it on Ellen. He's like, look at this.
Yeah. She's like, oh my god.
So this episode should air February 7th, 2019. So that's a big deal. A lot of
coming
people
right
been
up.
wanting him to come back, and I don't know if he was he officially killed off? Like is this okay? So this is like a probably a ghost maybe or
I don't know.
supernatural thing, right?
Oh, because the
Oh, I brought it
show. I got it. I'll
Anyway, that's very exciting.
see you guys later.
So I'm excited. But yeah, check that show out. It's really good. And go on the CW app. Well, you can see the new episodes, but it's on Netflix and maybe Hulu. I'm not sure. So
Who cares?
I know.
Just see it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of
Watch it.
Speaking of the CW app, Elseworlds came out, and
Oh, yeah.
I missed it when it was being televised live or whatever, and so I was able to watch the 3-episode crossover. What were your thoughts, Joe, about it?
I thought it was pretty good. It's probably definitely the best crossover they've done. I don't like how they left the Legends out. I don't know if they just didn't have the money for
They
it.
usually are in the crossover.
The past 2 they were in the crossover. I just don't know if they didn't have the money for it or just didn't fit the story. But I thought it was pretty good. My only like, well, there were a couple of things I wasn't really. I don't know. So like,
Let it out.
the Kate Kane shot, was that like a BVS reference where she was like looking up at the suit? Because it looked like a shot for shot when Bruce was looking up at the suit in the cave. You
Maybe, yeah.
and
Keaton
I'm
might
not saying they copied it. I'm just saying like
Keaton
I
might
think,
have done something similar too. Keaton, he had the
Oh.
Volt. He had the Volt in the first Batman movie.
well, yeah, but just I don't know.
know.
It looked very similar. So
Yeah,
I
I
didn't know.
got you. Yeah,
And then I also liked the 90s Flash coming through the time breach, kind of like in BVS. About 90s Flash, what I didn't like was it was a total bait and switch because they were really like, oh yeah, 90s Flash is gonna be in it. He's gonna be in it.
That was one of them.
He runs at him and then gets breached, and that's it. You never see him again. And I texted my friend because like we were both up on it. We were like, I hope that's more. I hope there's
was
more.
pissed.
There's got to be more, right? No,
Because
that was
they
it.
did all the preview shots and all that stuff.
I was a
You
little.
saw everything pretty much.
Yeah.
I was a little wary because like you saw him in the planet like crawling through like the bodies, and one of them was like the Smallville Green Arrow, which I thought was pretty cool. And then like he does this whole thing and he speeds off, and you're like, okay, he's gonna like fight alongside them, and then he meets them in the bunker or like at Argus or whatever,
Yeah.
and then he's like, they're like Jay, he's like no, and Barry's like Dad, and he's like no.
What is this kid's questions
What?
about?
And then he like points to John Diggle, and he's like, "Hey, you're not wearing your ring. What are you doing?" So he's like the Green Lantern of.
At first,
Oh,
I thought
okay.
I thought, oh, he's the Flash in that universe. I didn't even make the connection. It was obviously it can't be the Flash, but the ring thing, I just didn't
Yeah.
think about Green Lantern. So I know that's been like a theory for a while, right?
Yeah, and I don't
Kind
think
of.
it's gonna pan out, but
Probably
they love
not.
to just mess with people. And then it's the shot that like they sold us with is like it was Supergirl.
They were all in a lineup.
Yeah, but it was only 4 of them, which wasn't really that much of a lineup or whatever. And then he gives his whole like, I'm not gonna let you do like mess with this planet, blah blah blah. And then he like, there's like no plan of action. It's like, this is like what's so weird to me. There's no plan of action. 90s Flash just goes, I'm gonna run at him, and then he runs, and then Monitor's like snaps, and he goes into like a breach. I'm guessing back to his home planet, or just to
I
hell.
don't know.
I have no idea. So I was like,
He basically just said, "I'm
Right.
not gonna let you do to this Earth what you did to mine."
Yeah.
And he just goes to
he
rush
runs at
him, and
he
he's-
runs at him,
Boom, you're gone.
and then he's gone, and then that's all you see. That's the rest.
I'm like, oh, he'll drop out somewhere, and we'll
All
see.
right, all
Yeah.
that money spent on a
He'll
costume.
drop out in. Oh my god, who cares? Anywhere, just let him drop somewhere, and then he doesn't, and it's like, oh well.
Yeah, that pissed me off, but I do appreciate seeing him in the suit again. What we got, if that's all we can get, but they're kind of teasing the possibility they might be able to.
I'm sure they were gonna shoot more, but John Wesley's ship was just like, guys, this suit smells like crap. You haven't washed it since '95.
It's a new suit though. He showed the old suit on Instagram. It looks terrible.
He was like, no.
They never watched it. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, I bet.
My biggest gripe, and I'm not trying to be a hater, I do not like that new Flash costume. I just don't.
I like it. It's just always the head, like it's the lack of chin strap, and it's that
It just needs padding. It just feels like pajamas. It looks like footy pajamas.
Flash is never padded. Like, I mean, in the show and stuff, like everybody looked like they were on roids.
Right, but like I'm saying, like in the comics, how he's drawn, and they put Wesley's ship right next to him. I'm like, that looks so much better to me. I mean, I get it. You don't want him to be like roided up, but I like Barry's old suit. He had it was like a jacket. Like
Yeah,
material.
well, and it's
it looked
also-
like it fit the Arrowverse more.
Well, but it's also like, for me, it's the head. Like the head's always been that big, but the lack of chin strap like really draws your eyes to the helmet. And I just don't know why, if that's like the most if it's the most cost effective option for them, and if it's like the safest. I don't know. It's always looked weird.
It just kind of pulled me out. I don't know. I just have so many gripes. I gave it a chance though. I was like, okay, I don't like the stills I'm seeing. Let me see it in action. And there's a few angles that looks pretty cool. I like how red it is. I'll give it that. But man, it just distracted me. I was like, I like the old one better, or something like Wesley. I'm surprised they put them together because I'm like, wow.
You know what it
Really
kind of
have your
reminds me
doubts.
of, though? It's like when somebody's doing cosplay and the suit that they bought to do it doesn't quite fit right. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
they're saying it's a one-size-fits-all suit.
It just looks like a onesie. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
that's my only problem. You know, hopefully
The
they'll
helmet
change
makes it look like he's got a brain the size of Texas.
Well, it goes with the other suit.
I mean, is that an
much, right?
egg
The
scrambler
helmet he's got.
breakfast?
I don't know.
But
It's not for everybody, and I'm sure they don't really care if you like it one way or another. You're gonna watch. So
I'm not boycotting because of it. It just distracts me. But I liked a lot of, I liked Batwoman. That was great. I didn't know Kate Kane was Bruce Wayne's cousin.
yeah,
Because at first I was like, did they just put that trope in there to link it? Okay,
No, it's
so
always
that's
been that.
good. Because I was like, man, if that's not really usually the case, like, why are we doing that? Why are we?
she was a little too broody though for me. Like she seemed like she was trying to be Bruce Wayne instead of being Kate Kane.
Yeah, that was kind of
But
right.
I don't know.
But I liked Batwoman. I thought was great.
that one was cool, and like
They really made it.
there's
Pretty
another
comic
BVS.
accurate.
There's another BVS shot where she like, I mean, this is just me like
I
reaching
think they
for
were
stuff.
doing that intentionally, though. A lot of inspiration from other movies.
But she reaches back and it shows her like with the batarang.
Yeah.
and it reminded me of the warehouse scene where he like
Yeah.
cocks his arm back.
True,
And just,
true.
shoom.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's also thrown batarangs in every other movie, so I'm not saying like it's solely a BVS one, but like I don't know.
Yeah, there's a ton of Easter eggs in Gotham. Gotham seemed like the other cities to me when they're on the streets, but in the alleyway, it was like, wow, this is a
Gotham
little
during the day
shithole.
was just like this kind of is not Gotham.
I
It was
didn't
just
think
weird.
so either. But
And
you
then
think it's
there-
because the reality was changed a little bit or something?
Maybe I have no
Because that's what I
idea.
was confused about. Like, spoilers, Batwoman still exists in the end. Because I thought maybe that was all like an alternate reality. And then once everything was fixed, she'd go away or something like that. And it seemed like every character kind of retained their memories and everything like that. So
But also, it was weird to me that Supergirl never brought up Batman in her universe because she knows that her cousins fought
right,
Batman
yeah,
a
that
bunch
was
of times.
another thing.
So it's just like, why wouldn't you tell? I mean, at least for Oliver's and Barry's sake, because they were both like, yeah, Batman's real. And she could have been like, yes, he is. I know him.
Right, right.
Instead, she just like kind of just shut up about everything. I'm like, okay, well,
Well, I haven't watched all the shows for a long time, but I was hoping they were going to actually blend them into one Earth eventually. That seems kind of
Crisis.
stupid to me.
It seems like Crisis on Infinite Earth is going to be that.
Right, and they did tease that, and it's they did more than tease it. They actually gave you the end title of the next crossover, which will probably be a year from now. I'm guessing.
Well, it says that it's going to change the CW out format, like pretty much. I don't know, at least for a while.
Yeah.
When it happens, because in the comic, both Flash and Supergirl die.
Ooh.
So I wonder if they're going to do that, and then that way, this is just my headcanon.
Yeah.
If they do that, then that could be their way of introducing shorter seasons. Like, because the 26, 23 episode thing is just so
I don't like it.
so overkill.
That's what's
Because
taking me out.
then you got to throw the filler episodes, and you're just like, oh man, as cool as like some of these are,
Harry
I
got a
just
new
don't
pair of
care.
shoes.
I just don't care that much. Yeah, exactly. So
These
I
are
feel like
my
that could.
walking shoes.
So I feel like there could be like a, I don't know, cut it in half, maybe like 13 episodes. 15
I'm
episodes.
totally for that, like the
in
Netflix
the,
format.
in the first half of that season or so, it's the team trying to figure out how to get Flash and Supergirl back. Then again, I had this whole theory with Flashpoint that didn't pan out because they didn't have the rights to like half the characters.
yeah,
So I don't know. Who knows how they're going to adapt it. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what happens.
maybe all after the Crisis, it'll be all one Earth, and it'll just be a fresh start.
Yeah.
and then.
Bring Black Lightning in too. God damn it.
Yeah, that's another problem. Like, I don't like all these heroes they introduced. Are like, oh, he's on a different world. Like, why? Why are we gonna do that?
Black Lightning is the best show on CW right now, and they need to merge the worlds.
Is it? It's good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. People are kind of trashing it online. I don't know why. Like on IMDb or whatever. But then again, who goes to IMDb? Like, just a bunch of losers. Just like, oh, I hate this show. It's like, okay, cool. I'll watch
that
it.
off my homepage.
Well, there
not a
goes
loser.
my app.
Hold on, I gotta delete something.
I just check for birthdays.
What's the reason for your deletion? I don't want to be a loser anymore.
Joey called me a loser.
Joey called me a loser. I mean, someone a loser. He called
Hey,
someone a
I
loser.
just
not
fact
me.
check Wikipedia, and I'm good. It's fine.
Joey called me a loser and then offered me a wine cooler.
It's fine. They filmed all the Ben Affleck Batman films are coming out next month. A secret location downtown somewhere.
And Beverly Hills Cop 4 and 5.
What?
Yeah, and then Beverly Hills Cop Jr.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh, little Axel.
But yeah, no, Black Lightning is like absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it the other day, like, I don't think any CW superhero show so far has been canceled. But I'm just worried that this might be the one, that or Supergirl.
Do you think because there's not a lot of attention on it, that
Right.
maybe they're able to experiment and do their own thing? And then once you have the attention, more studio heads are like, oh, we need to do this.
Yeah,
do
maybe.
that. I don't know. I mean, it's just a thought.
And they're in their like second season already, and they're introducing so much so quickly. But it's good though. Like, both of his daughters already have their powers, and they just unveiled his youngest daughter's like suit.
Cool.
Super suit. But yeah, I don't know. It's a great show, and I feel like it deserves to be in the same world because they've mentioned Supergirl on the show before.
Yeah, it's very confusing. The whole thing is very confusing. Because I actually thought they were in the same world now for some reason.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they're like, see you later, Barry. And they go through their portal, whatever. But
I did like the teamwork though with Barry.
what?
Mom says I gotta go home now. See you guys. And then they
That's
just
pretty much
like a
what it
portal
was.
opens up
Like
for like
comes on.
each person's home.
Yeah.
You know,
That's pretty much what it was.
Until
I'm
we
not
meet
kidding.
again.
Dad's walking around without pants on. I did like the teamwork though,
Hey,
and
Dad,
like
can we play catch?
not just the teamwork, but like the interactions between the main three.
Yeah.
Like they felt like a brother and sister team, just kind of
Yeah,
like trying to figure everything out.
Good chemistry,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked. I thought the third episode had the best. And I don't know if each series writers tackled the story, but to me, the first two episodes were kind of a little sloppy in parts, but the third one, like, it just clicked for me. Like the writing just seemed a little
Mm-hmm.
bit better. I don't know if that's because the third one was Arrow, correct?
No, the third one was Supergirl.
Was it Supergirl? Okay, I
Arrow
just felt
was
like the writing
still
was a little
Monday
bit more
night.
sharper, but
Yeah.
it's just my opinion.
And I also liked how it felt like they gave Oliver some leeway to be more animated. Like he wasn't as like brooding and everything. He was
Stuck
kind
up.
of yeah. He like there was that part in the scene where he was like he's like, I was just trying to de-escalate the situation. Like and he looks at Barry and Barry just goes, me? And he goes, uh-huh. And I'm like, I've never heard like Stephen Amell's Oliver Queen make that sound before.
They get to have a little fun,
Yeah.
yeah. And there was a theory that they might have gotten each other's characteristics a little bit or something from the Switch.
Yeah.
So I don't
I
know.
also like they're like, whoa, Freaky Friday. They're like, wait, no, I'm still in my body. Quantum leap.
Will he ever find his way back home?
Oh, I miss Sam. He's a great guy. I really liked Tyler Hoechlin. Is that how you say his name?
Oh God, he's not great.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, he's
he
like
grew
a-
on me.
He's like a cardboard cutout of the Christopher Reeve Superman that everybody's been begging for, and it's just so dry and just. It's nothing against him. It's absolutely nothing against him. It's the writers
Big
they're
shoes
very-
to fill.
huh?
Big shoes to
Big
fill.
shoes to fill, and also
Superman.
they're just like do this, but he doesn't get to make it his own. Like I feel like Henry Cavill made it his own.
I got
Brandon Routh for however many minutes he was.
That wasn't
Superman.
his fault.
That wasn't
I
no,
don't
that
think
wasn't his
so at
fault.
all. No.
Again, it was just another
It's a
instance
beautiful
of
film. It's
Yeah.
just wow.
it was another instance of
something.
it was another instance of like people wanting Christopher Reeve Superman so bad, and them giving it to him, and then people were like nah.
They had more action.
Not like that though. And then
right.
it's like, well, okay, yeah.
What
I
if
don't,
instead of Margot Kidder, they replaced her with Shelley Duvall?
She was one of the. She was one of the front runners. No, I think she screen tested.
She did?
I think.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
oh, Shelley, she's in here.
Have you ever seen that on Facebook? They posted like 15
Yeah,
different.
oh, that's
Hello,
trippy.
I'm Shelley Duvall. The one that always gets me that I bust out laughing is when she goes hello and then walks past a tree because you can't see her. She pops her head around and goes, "I'm Shelley Duvall."
So Tyler
Then the kids
Hoechlin's
run.
Tyler Hoechlin's Superman.
No, I get your criticism. Like, yeah, he is a little wooden, but I felt like he got.
the only time I thought he was cool when he was like evil, and he wasn't even Superman. He was the Doctor.
Yeah, that was good too. Yeah, I thought he had good chemistry with that Lois Lane, and she kind of grew on me. I thought she was pretty good. You didn't think so?
No,
I just felt like some of their lines were it felt organic.
it was weird. She like introduced herself to Barry and Oliver. She's like Lois Lane, Daily Planet. It's like you're at home. Just say I'm Lois Lane. God.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's talks they might get a series. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but
No thanks.
no thanks.
Well, also there was like that argument that came out.
I was a little impressed.
There's an argument that came out that was like, it's crazy that Tyler Hoechlin's Superman has had more character development than
Yeah, I don't
Henry
agree with that.
Cavill's, and I'm like, well, no. And then someone was like, when you're brought in as a plot device to raise ratings of a show, that's not character development.
Yeah,
That's just drawing people in to watch your show.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
So yeah, I'm not on board with his.
He kind of has an
Superman.
alien look to him, you know. I get from his eyes or something. So I'm like, he kind of fits.
Well, he
like,
kind of is an alien.
Tyler Hoechlin's Superman because he looks weird.
He looks like an alien midget.
Oh man. Anyways,
was that a Variety headline?
yeah. Geez.
I'm a midget in my home planet.
Oh no. No, I don't know. I've never really liked him. And like the whole black suit thing, like when I saw the picture I was like, it doesn't look that great. And also, like, we could have had that in a movie already.
Yeah.
Well,
It was just-
we almost did if it wasn't
that's
for
what I'm saying.
WB. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is they were so adamant to not have it in the movie. I think I've said this on the show before, but it was like,
What, complain about WB? Never.
well, that, But like the whole, this medium didn't get it. Like they didn't give it to the movies, and then they give it to the show. It's kind of like
It's
your
leftovers.
little brother getting something that you couldn't have or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it was just like, look what we got. And it's like, okay, how are you gonna use it? And it's like, it's gonna be in for like 20 minutes, and he's not even gonna really be Superman.
It's like Big Brother cleaning his closet. He's like, I don't ever wear this here. I don't care. Just wear it.
Yeah,
Wear
but
it to school.
I don't ever wear this because I never got the chance to because I didn't know it was here.
Well, if Justice League was going to be a two-parter, I think it was because of time restraints. You can't go from black suit to for what they did.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but they had to make it into one film. What a man, that's another hole we can't go down to right now.
We'll be here all day.
4 hours of punching shit.
Anyways, yeah.
But yeah, overall it was a pretty good crossover, and I did enjoy it. So
Moving on to the next one,
yes,
the new supposed horror film that's coming out.
Ooh, yeah.
That reminds me of Superman.
Well, that's the
rip
point.
off.
No,
Brightburn.
that's the
Brightburn.
Do people not understand that? Like, have you seen Cabin in the Woods?
No.
yes, I have.
Okay, so when that movie was made, like people thought it was an actual horror movie, and then they watched it and they realized it was like a parody / like homage. I don't know how to say that word.
I'm
Homage?
still going to give it a
Yeah,
chance.
homage.
I'm not saying it looks bad. by
No,
any
no,
means.
no, I know, but like, there's everybody online saying like you're ripping off Zack Snyder. I can't believe James Gunn would rip off Zack Snyder. WB's like they need to sue. Okay, but like the reason this is made is like half of it's a parody or homage to Man of Steel. Like he made that very clear.
Oh, yeah.
with the titles and like
The alien
shots and
ship.
stuff.
Yep.
The alien, all of it. And then
swing,
also he's
the
worked with
barnhouse.
Zack Snyder before. He loves Man of Steel. Like that's his second favorite DC movie. I'm pretty sure like and he's not even directing. Like he's just a producer.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure what this is just an answer to the critics of like, oh, you made a murderous Superman. It's like, motherfucker, you want a murderous Superman? I'll give you a murderous Superman.
But why in the world would you give the kid the symbol of the Bluetooth?
What?
The Bluetooth symbol.
Oh, is that his symbol? I didn't
Yeah, it
No,
looks
it's
just
not.
like blue. It looks just like Bluetooth.
No, it doesn't. It's like
It does.
It doesn't. Anyways,
Kid's Bluetooth.
But yeah, people online are so stupid about like,
Call me
it's such
Bluetooth.
a rip off. And it's like, well, it's not. Like I can see where you're.
It's a cool what if story. Like, what if this kid was evil?
It's
as
pretty much
shit?
it's pretty much an Ultraman origin
Yeah,
story.
I've heard that. Yeah,
Like, someone
think-
someone
yeah.
shared the still of the first Ultraman like origin comic or whatever, and pretty much he lands on Earth as a kid. He I think he lasers John's arm off. John Kent lasers his arm off, and he just goes, "You'll be my parents now." And then they're like, "Oh my god, okay." And then I think he said, "I needed them until I was 7." And then they tried to run away or something like that. So I killed them and burned the farm down.
Wow.
And you're just like, okay, exactly. This is what a murder Superman would be like. This is an Ultraman origin, pretty much. And I just don't think people understand.
What if
And
it
I'm not
was-
trying to say I'm smarter than you, I'm holier than thou. It's just do a little bit of research before you're going to go on claiming you're stealing from Zack Snyder. I can't believe you do this. And James Gunn is nowhere near in my good graces. It's just I'm excited to see what this is going to be.
but he's not even directing. He's just
Exactly.
producing
That's
it,
what.
so-
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that he's just producing it.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate the whole I'll give you critics an actual murderous Superman, and then you can kind of tie that, or you can kind of compare that to the Man of Steel that we got where he killed one person.
General Zod. And then he cried
But
about
the
it.
people in the
Exactly.
buildings
Exactly.
in the fictional city. It
Well,
wasn't
in
even New York.
a bunch of bloggers and everything are saying this Brightburn looks brilliant, and it's really. It must just be you hate Zack Snyder then.
Yeah, it's probably what it is.
Jesus.
I dig the
It's
whole
hard-
what
it's-
if
it's really
concept
hard to
because
keep going.
if Clark Kent wasn't a good person and as a kid had those powers and
Well,
he
it's
got
pretty much-
bullied and all that shit.
Well, what if Joker? I mean, it's pretty much what if Joker had Superman's powers,
Yeah, it's true.
or any sociopath really. That last scene where he,
Oh,
floating there,
cuts through the
and it just goes,
the
"Pew," and you hear that bone crack. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
jumped. I was like, ah.
Because he has a bag on his head, right? And his eyes are red.
Yeah, his eyes are red, and then he's floating, and that lunch lady's really scared.
Yeah. It's a whole misdirect. That's the whole point.
Well, if you look
Get
at
all
that,
comfortable, and then all of a sudden this kid's evil on a dime.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit!
well, if you look at that shot where he like burns down the metal door, like he lasers it and then like rips it off, kind of like the oil rig scene in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I just don't think people are. I think people want it to be like an act of injustice or something against Snyder. I don't know. It's a weird thing to get upset about because like it obviously to me looks like just like a parody.
I'm able to
type.
appreciate that. I mean,
Yeah.
look at there's a lot of animated movies that have played with the Superman
Yeah.
mythos.
Yeah.
The one Will Ferrell was in, where Brad Pitt was Superman. What the hell? What movie was that called? Tina Fey was.
Oh,
in it.
Megamind.
Yeah, that was very Superman-esque.
Yeah.
No one complained about that.
Yeah.
I mean, the internet was probably not as
No.
stupid as it is now, but
Well, and like
everyone's got an opinion.
what I was saying
everybody-
about Cabin in the Woods earlier is it plays on a lot of tropes of
Yeah,
cabin horror like slasher movies.
Big one.
you'd like it.
I think you
It's
really would. It's
good.
got Chris
Yeah.
Hemsworth.
Okay.
Brad, what's his name? Bradley
Whitworth
Whitward. The
from West
from
Wing.
Get Out.
Ah.
Yeah, West Wing.
Yeah, that too.
But it's pretty much like, like Evil Dead or
Oh,
like
sure.
all those. So
It's just a parody.
it's a parody, but it's good because it's like, the cabin or the entire area is like a simulation, kind of.
Like there's a facility.
There's a
underground.
facility underground that
Cabin.
watches everybody.
They play with people up top.
Oh, that's cool.
They put them in certain situations. Yeah,
And I think it's for like TV or something.
yeah,
or-
I can't remember the angle.
Well,
why.
well, it's
Or
like
a study, isn't it? Just a study.
well, it's pretty
on
much like they
human
need a
behavior?
sacrifice
Oh, to keep the monsters.
to keep
happy.
the monsters underground.
It's really
happy.
intriguing.
and it's
You need to
it's
check it
it's
out.
funny
It's
because
really
like the
good.
monsters are pretty much like the audience. Because
Yeah.
like we want to see someone die.
Speaking of monsters, the new Avengers trailer came out.
Did
Yeah.
Did
anybody catch all the,
Aquaman, Avengers?
Did anybody catch the little teasers that they had in there?
I caught a few.
the little teasers.
Well, the
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs, I should say. So in the scene where you have the Black Widow and Cap, or whatever his name is at this time,
Ronan.
Catherine America.
Or-
Catherine America. Yes,
Who are you talking about?
Ant-Man. That scene where he's in the van.
Yeah, I love
And
that. Yeah.
have you looked at the top left-hand corner? It says archive, and it's from the 80s. So remember in Ant-Man 2 when he says you have to be really careful, otherwise you
talking
could
about?
time warp.
Okay, yeah. It's the last scene in Avengers.
It's the
where
last-
Scott's like, "Can you buzz me in?"
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you buzz me in? Hey
Cap
guys.
asked for. He said, "Is this an old message?" Did
Yeah,
you say that? And then-
because it says archived on it. So that means to me that Ant-Man accidentally screwed up and through the whatever they call that when
Quantum Realm. He was
through the
in.
Quantum Realm
Last
he
we
was
saw
in.
him, spoilers.
I haven't heard anything about that. I don't know how sound.
I've
that
heard a
is.
lot of time travel.
It's all theory.
I've heard time
possibilities.
travel. I've heard
It's
time
all
travel
theory.
though, but I don't know about that.
But if he got himself taken out and he was in the 80s and he went to that same place,
I don't think they're gonna try and do all that within the 2 hour, however many minutes.
Well, it's
Well,
gonna be
it
the
could
longest-
it could be a very telling scene right there though, because
Yeah.
if he does time travel, like some people are theorizing, which obviously it may not be true, then Ant-Man could be the possibility or the reason why they beat Thanos.
right I
Because
think-
he's able to go back in time and forewarn everybody of what's going on and what happens.
Right.
And that's the reason why.
Well, Doctor Strange.
Dr.
had
Strange
the
says
time-
we're now in
he
the
had
end
time
game.
Stone, right?
Right.
So he had one possibility, and that was probably it. He
Yeah.
probably had to plan.
I don't know about that.
We'll have to wait
80s.
to see, but
Well, I mean,
it's fun.
There's
to
been
theorize.
nothing about
he's
it.
in the
There's
van.
been-
He's in the van that was in the post-credit scene when he goes to the quantum realm, and that's that's what he drove back in, mm-hmm. and that's what he drove over to the Avengers at.
right,
So he got back from the quantum realm.
right.
So
But
he
they already said that was the front gate. It's not an archive video.
Oh,
but on the
I'll have
screen
to
it says
go-
archive.
But they already said. He said, "Is this an old video?" And she says, "No, that's out front right now."
And it could be a different shot, though.
Yeah.
Of what we saw. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at it. I know there's several possibilities, obviously, because the whole quantum realm theory is, time travel. If you look, and it could just be he needed an outfit, so he grabbed his Winter Soldier gear. But Rogers had his
He's wearing the Winter Soldier gear.
suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yet Scarlet is still blonde. But we do know Hawkeye's changed. He's a Ronin now, supposedly, rocking a sword.
And the whole big question is how many years after the events occurred does this movie take place?
I'm sure it's instant.
Well, people
Probably
are
like
saying it's a couple years.
Probably like a
Oh,
year or two.
really?
Yeah.
Really? So it took them that long to get their shit together?
Well, and I think the events. I think so. We jump to in the first trailer. We jump to right after the events took place. So Tony Stark's in the ship with that one lady.
Which I don't know. Well, does she need oxygen to survive?
No, because she's like pretty much all mechanical anyway.
Right, but I'm intrigued how they got off the planet because that's where he was at.
Well, remember,
The ship was still there.
the ship was still there. That's how they
remember
flew
that,
in.
yeah.
So he probably flew out.
So he thought he could make it back to Earth, and it just wasn't
Right.
cool.
My guess is that Captain Marvel is the one that ends up saving him, or somebody in.
No, Pepper Potts needs to come in the rescue.
Well, and that's
suit
the big
save
question
him.
though, because Pepper Potts is now in that suit, whatever her suit is called.
Rescue.
It's called Rescue. Yeah.
So
A lot of people say, and I have to look. I think I did listen back, and maybe it's a kind of a stretch, but before they lost contact, she was saying something, and it sounded like she was saying something like, "I'm gonna come get you."
I have herpes.
Yeah, that too. Got the
that's
cat.
the gift that keeps on giving.
Wash your dick.
Avengers, wash your dick.
Let me smell yo dick.
It's an R&B song
You guys
from the
seen that
90s.
video?
No.
That got
There's a
rejected.
video called "Let Me Smell." It's like a. Why you coming home? 5 in the morning. Something going on. Let me smell yo dick. It's pretty great. It was on Tosh.0 like 2 years ago. And I think because like he did the whole like web redemption thing.
Oh, yeah.
He had them redo it. And I think he brought on like a hologram Coolio. For, like, the hologram Tupac like parody.
So that song should be on the soundtrack.
Yeah. I did like the Avengers logo, though, and I think there's some foretelling in that.
The purple and all
Yeah,
that.
because if you notice, the ring that's around the A is the same ring that, not Thanos, but Chris Hemsworth used to create that axe. So there's going to be something that's playing a part in that as well, I
Oh,
think.
probably, yeah.
And then the
I don't
A,
know.
in the A, do you notice that it's not a clean A? That
Yeah.
there's breaks and stuff. So it's kind of saying when it comes to it that it's that the Avengers are coming back. I think a lot of them will be coming back from
Well, no, it's the dissolving of like,
Yeah.
the people being.
right, but when it reforms, I think it's saying that the Avengers will be back, but in a different way. Like some will come back, some won't.
I don't know. See, this is why I don't like theorizing because like.
I think it's fun, though.
No, it is fun. I'm
I'm
let
not
me,
saying this
let me
is going
talk.
to happen.
Can I finish?
But that's the
Let me
thing, like,
smell your dick.
but yeah, but everybody like theorized with Star Wars. Everybody theorized with every movie, and then
I
it
know.
doesn't pan out.
But that's
I'm not
what we
saying,
do.
I'm not saying we do that,
Yeah.
but like, it's just so annoying to see everybody like be like, oh, they're gonna do this and this and this, and it doesn't happen. It's like this movie sucks because it's not my headcanon.
Not at all.
Let me
Oh,
talk
no.
to you, Mr. Russo and
fact-
brother.
Most of the time, I'm like, wow, they did it better than I thought.
Yeah. The only time
Well,
I've
we're
ever
the
been
best
right.
of the best of the best, I guess.
The only time I've ever been right on a movie was a conversation that I had with a friend about Batman, the last one.
And you said it's gonna have nipples.
No,
And
and
then it
basically
did.
said that in order to
Rises, you're talking about?
in order to win the game, he had to die, and they did at the end. So
In the game of bats, you either win or you die.
Batman is coming.
Nice.
The autopilot doesn't work. I'll say that again and later on in the movie. The autopilot. How's the autopilot?
It was fixed 2 weeks ago.
Who
But
patched
how?
it? Bruce Wayne. Oh my God, he's alive. Let me smell
And then
your
Michael
Morgan Freeman
Caine-
just looks at the camera. Oh, what?
He like overacts shit of it. Could it be? Does a Shatner.
Wouldn't it be funny if Michael Caine's character looked over and Mickey Mouse was there instead? And he tipped his glass and then he
Like,
took off his.
he goes, I've got a kidney stone. The size of a tangerine.
So yeah, So no, I think there's a lot of. I mean, you can take it either and Marvel is notorious for putting in stuff that's not in the movie, and they're also notorious for redoing scenes that aren't in the movie.
Well, someone was also saying like there have been like set pics of Scarlett Johansson with red hair, so like that could be either the time travel or maybe she already has red hair and they're giving us the blonde look to like throw us off and they digitally altered it. I don't know.
I mean, they do that a lot in the
I am
previews.
100% certain they're doing time travel because Chris Evans was back in his original suit, and they were filming shots, and they all have these weird devices on them.
Yeah.
So it's
Devices.
definitely time travel's happening.
Yeah, so
Just
I
don't
think
know how,
think Ant-Man's the key to winning.
yeah,
that's just my
Or
Which is
Marvel
going to piss
is-
a lot of Captain Marvel fans off.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be funny.
Well, that's the other question is, after Captain Marvel comes out, we're going to know about these scrolls. So there's a good chance some of these Avengers we've come to love may not be the actual person, or who knows? I don't know, but that'll be a lot more intriguing. Like, to be like, is that person? Because a lot of people think, oh, maybe Scott Lang isn't Scott Lang.
But remember, Captain Marvel, the movie when it's supposed to be coming out, takes place in the 80s,
90s
90s.
takes place in 90s.
Hundreds. I
So,
thought we were bidding.
so if that's true,
1890s.
if that's true, what's not to say that they pick up time travel wise, in the 90s? Bing.
For
I
what?
don't know.
I didn't listen to what you were saying.
No, you're fine.
Time travel 90s.
Cool.
I don't know.
Gotta get back
the thing
in
is
time.
The theory is she
Dun it,
gets
dun
kind
it.
of cocooned out in space for all that time, and then she...
Who?
Cocoon.
Captain Marvel.
No, it was
the
like,
aliens.
It was
Somewhere
somewhere in
the
the
old people to the
There's
planet.
somewhere in the comic where like there's like a prelude comic to where like I think she said she might be in space, but I'm pretty sure she said unless you absolutely need me, don't call me. Like I don't want to
I don't want to
be
fight.
this. It's kind of like a Wonder Woman scenario.
What a typical lady.
But people are gonna
Leave me alone.
but wow. Good thing Steve's not
I
here.
kid only.
I
I don't really mean it.
I'm not really jazzed about Captain Marvel really.
That whole scene where she like punches that grandma, I kind of giggled at.
Well,
just
that's what's
because
funny.
I was just like, what? Marvel would never do that.
Okay,
and then
but
I realized
you know,
it was an
I
alien.
knew then. I'm like, that's not really an old lady.
Yeah.
It's not. And the new trailer came out, and it's a scroll, so people the whole old lady gate can just go away because everyone was like, she hit an old lady.
Wait, people were really upset about that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they were visibly
Well, that
upset.
just shows you that
she
some
hit an old lady.
that just shows you that some
Who smiled at her.
Some Marvel fans, or no, some comic book fans are just
It's
idiots who
DC
don't
too.
understand.
Yeah.
I know. I just said comic book fans that
It
try
all
to.
sucks because she hit a lady, an old lady. Grandma.
Why would a lady hit another lady?
She was giving her cookies.
Lady.
Well, my other thing was like, so everybody came out and said like, she pretty much doesn't show any emotion. Like she doesn't really show any
Yeah.
acting range. Like,
But that's kind of her
it's nothing-
style.
But that's weird for a few reasons. One, I get that she's an alien.
Yeah.
I get that she's like a cosmic being pretty much. She doesn't need a smile. But she seems like she doesn't want to be there. She's a good actor. I've seen like Room.
Oh,
Have
you
you
think
seen?
she's
Oh, yeah, that was a
Then?
great
Yeah, a
freaking
little
movie.
bit. Like she
think
seems like
so?
she's like uninterested by the
Really? Yeah.
role. And then like, she doesn't smile and I was like whatever about it. I was kind of just like, yeah, she doesn't really show any emotion, but whatever. And then a bunch of people were like, "Oh, she's not like showing any emotion." And then like people freaked out. You're like, "You better never tell a woman to smile when she doesn't want to." And it's like, you told Henry Cavill to smile for 5 years.
But he's a guy. It's different.
No, but he's an alien too.
Different aliens smile differently.
His dad died. A bunch of stuff is going around him. Why would he smile? And if you watch the movies, he does smile. But whatever fits your argument.
Well, I think the
Whoever
reason
fits the
why
multi argument.
she's not.
What if she just smiles with her eyes?
There you go. Just curl up. Like, whoa.
She is an alien, right?
Very happy to see.
I wish we could get a video of that. That would be perfect.
Please.
just Nick Fury just put glasses on. He's like,
I think Nick Fury is going to be the comic relief in this movie, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
well, he's gonna lose his eye from that cat.
That's what people.
Well, like I wouldn't be surprised because like that's her cat, and
The cat just pokes his eye out.
yeah, I mean, cool because it's like isn't it like a alien cat or something?
I don't know. I
I don't know.
much about.
I feel like a lot of people are going to be pissed. Like, really?
like
That's how he loses his eye?
It's like Sabrina
I
the
want David
Teenage Witch.
Hasselhoff.
We'll also look at.
Oh my
the
god, that
story.
would be awesome.
Her mind is scrambled. Like when she comes back to Earth, whatever battle she was in. I think that's the idea. She doesn't remember, and that's probably why she's not happy. You know.
Why would
I
she
don't
be
know.
sad if she doesn't remember anything? Why couldn't she just be happy all the
don't know.
time?
Well, because
That's just what I'm saying. Like
I know,
I'm not
gotcha.
demanding her to be happy. I'm not demanding her to smile. Wonder Woman like didn't smile when she didn't want to. Why should any hero be like they need to smile more? He should be a smiley guy.
Yeah.
It's like, well, his whole planet died. His dad died. He had to kill the last of his race. Got a lot of shit going on.
But he didn't have to kill him.
wait a second.
He doesn't kill.
What if we made a Batman that smiled, like when he was interrogating?
Batman Who Laughs.
Yes.
No, like that's an actual comic.
Oh, I know.
Have you guys?
Batman Forever when he turns after Nicole Kidman's like, I love Bruce Wayne, and he smiles, and you're
He
like,
goes,
ew.
That's Val Kilmer, though. We don't really talk about that.
Speaking of
whole
that,
movie.
though, go read Batman Who Laughs. I haven't read it yet, but like it's tied to the Dark Knight Metal. Dark
So
Knight
it's a
Metals.
newer story.
Yeah, Batman Who Laughs is Dark Knight Metals came out like last fall.
Oh yeah.
And it's like all the amalgamations of like Batman mixed with different Justice League members, or he mixes like with Doomsday in one. But in this one, he kills Joker finally, and then he finds out that there's like something in Joker's like blood
DNA?
or psyche DNA, something like that.
I know,
that if
DNA.
whoever kills him becomes him.
Uh-oh.
So he's still got the mind of Batman, but also has the mind of Joker. So he pretty much becomes like this, like the darkest version of Batman you could
boy.
imagine. It's great storytelling. And then the normal Batman has to go take down the Batman Who Laughs. And I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like he looks like Punisher Batman. He's got like the ammo belts, like in the X's. He's got like his guns and everything. I'm like, hell yeah,
That's a great
make
segue.
that a cartoon.
Speaking of Punisher, though, new Punisher trailer came out.
Yeah, it's a teaser. It's coming out January. We don't have an exact date yet.
Why am I so freaking worried, though, that they're going to do the same thing that they did?
They are.
They're going to cancel it?
Yeah, they're gonna cancel all those shows.
Except
Why? But
there's
Disney's not bringing them back?
Huh?
Disney's not bringing them back?
Well, Marvel's probably gonna take them to their streaming site, but it's weird because they can't use those characters for 2 years after they've been canceled. I don't know. I read that somewhere that they can't. There's like some contract that they can't be used for 2 years after they've been canceled. So
That's stupid.
I don't know
You know
what
what
the plan
irritates
was,
me though?
but it wasn't Netflix who canceled them. It was Marvel.
Yeah.
So like
Oh, it was.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was Marvel? So it
yeah,
wasn't...
so like everybody freaking out about
Netflix sucks.
Well, like Netflix buying Friends for like $100 million for just another year, which is a stupid idea because like that's just gonna
offense.
raise the prices. That's just gonna raise the prices for Netflix.
No offense, but Netflix is already in the hole for so much. I mean,
Yeah.
you keep on hearing stories about how they're, $3 billion in the hole right now?
Also, the box
Really, I
set.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Also, the box set for Friends is like $50 or something.
Yeah, just go freaking buy it.
and then shut up about it. And like everybody, I feel like half the people freaking out about Friends being taken off Netflix don't even watch it. They just want to be part of the conversation.
Oh,
It's not a
it's
good
like-
show.
It's okay. That's where like I lose people
That's
because
fine.
it is a good show, but is it worth $100 million for 1 year, one extra year? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Same with like if they were taking The Office off Netflix, okay, fine. Like you
Yeah,
got
just
to
go buy the whole freaking.
you got to
series.
yeah you got to cycle through the shows. I get it. Why I don't know why people are just so lazy to like go buy it themselves.
That's the way we are now, though.
I mean,
Our
you're
attention
spending
span's just
if you're
so
spending
short and-
if you're spending $10 a month to watch Friends, you might as well just buy the show.
yeah,
It's
Well-
just so stupid to me.
yeah, because for like $100, you probably get the whole series. Like
Yeah,
you said.
you
Well-
can get two of them.
I'll say this. Friends is a very topical, time-oriented show. So if you watch it now, the jokes don't make sense. It was funny back then.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold true now because
Well,
they're just
just because it's not like up to speed with right now doesn't mean it's not funny.
Right.
You can be like, oh, I remember that. That's funny. Or like like half the jokes don't always like revolve around what was going on at that time.
But kids these days wouldn't get half the jokes that are on that show.
No, and then like a lot of the people freaking out were like teenagers who were born around 94
Yeah.
and like grew up with that show, or like parents or whatever. But like so like I get the want to keep it around, but it's just like there's so many other options to watch it. It's so weird.
Why spend $100 million on that?
Yeah.
That just blows
Unless
me away.
the viewership is just over the top.
I don't think so. I think
can
you got
see-
a bigger viewership on
I don't know
Parks and
any-
Rec and The Office.
I don't know any show that would be worth keeping on
No.
for $100 million.
And where does that
especially when you're in
go?
debt.
I mean, where do the royalties for that go? Does it go to NBC? Does it go back to the characters that played it?
Well, it goes to the actors too. They get a gratuity, right?
I don't know. Who
They had
cares?
$1 million. They got $1 million an episode
It was
before
just
it went off the air.
stupid plan.
Yeah, I get it.
It was a poor decision. Fire the
Well,
guy.
A lot of people were talking. Daredevil was like a huge hit for them, and they're all like, "Why did they cancel it?" Well, it makes sense if Marvel. I knew the new Disney Plus has something to do with it too. Probably. That's your answer. That's why they canceled it. They
But it
didn't
might
really cancel
again. It might not be the DC thing. It might just be, it might not be the Disney thing. It might just be like they weren't happy with the money he was making or something. Like there's still a chance that Hulu could pick him up. I guess.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
Hulu's starting to do some original content that's really, really good.
Yeah, they sure are.
And why can't the national networks figure out how to do shows anymore? I mean, when you got Hulu, Netflix, and Amazon Prime like pumping out quality stuff because they actually listen to the script, take in ideas.
I see networks going away. Well, I see them becoming streaming services.
And I can't wait until the day that happens. I mean,
CBS All Access is the first one, except they still have their actual network, but it's the sign of the times, and
yeah.
it's just people want to watch at a certain time, and the whole rating thing for all that, it's very I don't understand how that works. But I'm telling you one thing, I watched Daredevil season 3 last night. Didn't finish it yet, but man, it's really good.
Oh yeah.
Really good, solid, and
My guess is like what Joey said is that there's going to be something with Marvel taking it on 2 years from now.
But this is what makes me mad. In 2 years' time, that means
A lot
they're going to
can change.
reboot everything.
Oh, they're gonna recast
all that
for sure.
content.
Yeah,
I really hope
all
not.
of that content is out the window.
they're gonna recast.
That makes me so
Absolutely.
angry.
I would
Charlie
be surprised.
Cox is amazing as Daredevil.
He was great. This was like the best. I mean, we've only had 2, but this was the best Daredevil we've had.
Oh yeah, after
And
watching
Kingpin was
season-
great.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
We finally got like
The
Put him
right
in
Kingpin.
Spider-Man. Put him just
Yeah.
an Easter egg.
We don't deserve Vincent D'Onofrio. He did so much for like the marketing, and like
Yeah, and he
even
even
after
said
the
it's
show
not
was
going to be canceled.
even after the show is even after the show is canceled, like he did this like nice poem and showed like his fist with the blood on it and stuff. Like, oh my god, he was so good.
That whole scene when he's in prison, and he just like smashes his head on the table. Mm-hmm. That is just pure acting
The
gold.
rage.
I mean, if you could bottle that up and teach a class just that scene and teach it all year long, I don't think you'd ever be able to capture it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think he was the cockroach guy from Men in Black.
and that's the
Yeah.
funny part.
Well, he
More
did great
sugar.
with that too.
Water.
Look at the other Men in Black villains. Not the same part.
Well, Jermaine Clement was
Oh, he was great.
Pretty
Yeah, he better than Laura.
well because he knows how to be animated,
yeah, he's
but,
a good actor. Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's just I like I said on our page, I'm like, enjoy this Punisher season 2. It may be the last.
well, and has Vincent D'Onofrio always been that big, or did he get big for the show?
No,
Like,
he's
his weight's fluctuated over
he's
time.
a tower of a
Yeah.
man. It's insane.
He gained several pounds for Full Metal Jacket.
Like I saw him in Magnificent Seven. I was like, oh my god, he was just like throwing people around.
Yeah, he's a bear. He's a great guy, great
yeah.
actor, and yeah, it's a shame Spider-Man doesn't have him just in the background. I'm not saying he has to be full, but he's a movie
He doesn't
star.
deserve the Spider-Man we have right now.
If
Or
any character-
the Spider-Man we have right now doesn't deserve him.
If they bring anybody over, it's going to be him. I'm pretty sure because he's already established to be a movie star, and it's like the Judi Dench, what they did with Bond. They rebooted Bond, but they brought in the great elements, and so I think I could see them doing that with D'Onofrio, bring him into it, and season 3 he's rocking the white suit, and it's amazing. It's so good, so good. So I can't recommend it enough, and I'm just shocked that it's canceled. I'm just shocked, and it's a shame because it's like to reboot all that.
Yeah, all that money,
You
all
won't
that
get
effort.
that character development in a movie.
No.
All that character development is just out the window. But I mean, I guess it's good to have seen it. It's in your mind, so you get an idea where he's come from. But after season 1 of Daredevil, loving that, I went back and saw the movie. I'm like, man, this movie's shit.
Right.
I loved it back in the day.
I like the director's cut. It's
Yeah,
a fine
little
it's a fine thing to watch.
Yeah.
But like if you're comparing it, for sure it does not hold up as well as
No.
Right.
the show. But I mean anything with Ben Affleck and Michael Clark Duncan, I'm kind of just like, yeah, I'll watch it. season finale of Titans is next week
Oh my gosh.
on the DC
Just
stream app.
watched the latest episode last night.
Really good.
Always gets me those end credits.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's over, isn't it? Like, damn it, it's over.
What? Oh yeah, it's like it feels like it should be like an hour, but it seems like it's just like 45 minutes, and then the credits like.
The last episode with what was the last episode called? Hope and
This very last. Oh, Hank and Dawn.
Hank and Dawn. Where'd I get Hope?
Holy shit!
I revisited after watching the episode. I revisited their first episode, and I also revisited Doom Patrol. Like it. That's how good their rewatchability is.
Yeah.
It's really. And Mitch, you don't have the service, correct?
Which one?
The
DC streaming service.
DC
No.
Universe. You can get it for a month. You can get it for a month for like $8, I think. You should just binge watch all the Titans because it's a really good show.
It's really easy
Okay.
to watch too. Like it doesn't drag on at all.
No, it doesn't. It's very quick, and
It
that's
doesn't
how I
drag
like
in
it.
at all.
And it's not 23 episodes. It's actually just 11, right?
It was supposed to be 12,
We're already at season finale.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's it? This
which is
going
gonna
to
be Batman.
Do we know how long the last episode's going to be?
Like an hour.
Okay.
Which is weird though, because like there were the set photos of the Titans all together, so I don't know how long it's going to take for Robin to
Right.
wrap things up in Gotham. And another thing is, I think that somebody's messing with him. I think like somebody's messing with his brain or something.
Who?
Robin.
Oh, someone's messing with his brain?
Yeah, because like Jason Todd's in the wheelchair. Also, Robin comes out of like a house.
Oh, you've seen like still
Trailer.
photos? Oh, okay. See, I haven't seen the trailer yet.
Oh, well, they're at the end of each episode.
Okay. Yeah, because I know
Trailers are at the end of each episode
Right.
of Titans.
Hank and Don are going to help Jason Todd.
Right. Well, that's the thing is like, I just don't know how they're going to wrap up the season because, like I said, there have been set photos of the Titans all together, like
Yeah.
taking on what I'm. This could be from the next season too, because like
Yeah.
they just introduced Trigon,
Right.
Trigon, whatever.
Yeah.
But with the whole Batman aspect, I think someone's messing with him. Like he's in some sort of like trance or something. Because he comes out of like a house, like he's been living like a suburban life.
Weird.
Like, and then Jason's like, you got to come back to Gotham. And he's like in a wheelchair. Jason
Yeah.
Todd's in a wheelchair. I thought it was Oracle at first. I was like, whoa.
They're bringing it on.
But he was like, Jason. I'm like, what? And he's like, you got to come back to Gotham. Everything's bad. Commissioner Gordon's dead.
Jesus.
Batman wants to kill Joker, and he's gonna do it this time. And then it shows like stills of I thought this was like kind of cheesy, but whatever. It shows like a bloody hand and then the Two-Face coin. I'm like, is that the only way you can show those Two-Face? But whatever. And then they showed like an arm with like question mark tattoos. I was like, oh, that's the Riddler.
Yeah,
and then they
yeah.
showed the Joker face down on the car. It's kind of like Jack Nicholson.
Oh,
but he was
nice.
face down
Oh,
on the
yeah.
car. And like, so it showed like he's, murderous. And Dick's pretty much just trying to talk to him, just like, hey, look, you wanted this darkness from me. And he's like telling him all this stuff. I don't know how it's going to pan out. It's really,
Yeah.
really throwing me off a little bit, which I like. Because
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen here.
Might open more doors for season 2 for your, be like, oh, I can't wait.
But
yeah.
that Hank and Dawn episode, that was rough. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't expect half that stuff to happen. Like, I knew, obviously they came from like bad experiences because they were so like
Yeah.
they weren't the typical Hank and or Hawk and Dove of
Right.
the comics.
Well, Mitch, you like Watchmen a lot. I mean, I do
Yeah.
too. That's what these characters. Actually, this whole series is pretty much like
Like The Watchmen? Oh,
like,
cool.
Very gritty, real. But yeah,
Well, there's
these
an
two
episode-
characters are really they're in it. Like
There's an episode of
They battle and
Justice
they
League
get hurt.
Unlimited where Hawk and Dove make an appearance, and it's just Hank and his brother.
yeah,
And they're very like comic-y. I think one of them is Fred Savage. Like that's the best. But they're like very like comic-y, and you're just like, this would not translate well into a film. Or like live action.
Gotcha.
And then they did it for Titans, and it works so well. It's insane.
yeah.
But like this one's like Hank and then Dawn, who like the original Dove was Hank's brother, but now it's Dawn, who's his like girlfriend or whatever.
Right.
But I really liked it, and then I went online, which you should never do. And like
You like something, go online.
One
Yeah.
article was like why Hank and Dawn was the most awkward TV episode of any show ever, and I'm like, what? And I read into it, and it was just like really weird criticisms. And I don't know, it was just like, oh,
People
you want to
suck.
try really hard not to like this show, but whatever.
There's always haters.
Yeah.
especially now. You always hear from.
But I am excited for the season finale. I hope that they don't really rush anything, because it
Yeah.
seems like this, that the trailer really only showed Batman and Robin's like whole.
I'll have to check out the trailer.
Yeah.
It's
Or maybe
gonna
just
be
going clean.
Yeah, well, that's actually how I usually go.
Just going clean. I mean, and like, I don't know how I feel about the Batman like look yet, because you've only seen like
seen the
silhouettes.
silhouette. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
they also show like dimly lidded shots of it, and
Yeah.
it looks kind of cheap, but it's also just like, well, it's not a Batman show. It's really only there just like for. And it's not as cheap. It's not like as cheap of a move as like Tyler Hoechlin's Superman and Supergirl. It's very much just like, here's this prominent figure that we know. We already know he's established everything. So let's see how Robin kind of like handles it a little bit. But they don't like show. You barely see his face really. I'd be a little surprised if they showed him completely at all.
Yeah.
Because they said like the guy who's playing him was like a stuntman.
Oh, interesting.
So it seems like, why
Yeah.
pay an actor, or why pay, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, I got you. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that'll
the way
be
to-
next Friday, right? The
And I
season
won't have
finale.
to, season finale. I won't have to worry about seeing Aquaman, because I'll already have seen it.
Going tonight. He's a
Going
Prime
tonight.
member. So am I.
No, I'm not. My friend is, but we got tickets.
Oh, you can get tickets for your friends. You can get tickets for your friends.
Yeah, you can get up to like 10.
Oh, cool.
Kidding. Well, let's go, Mitch.
I'm going to be working tonight. Otherwise, I
nerd.
would.
Calling sick.
I can't. These people requested me to drive. Otherwise, I would.
So yeah, well, hopefully we'll have a review next week, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna try and go see it. I might go see the Spider-Verse. Take my oldest to see that. So yeah, very.
Have you not
exciting.
gotten tickets yet for Aquaman?
I looked last night. No, I haven't. I looked last night. And,
They might be gone.
Well, no, there's still some available for the reserved seating, like Flicks.
Oh.
they're like right up front.
Oh, God.
Unless I'm handicapped, I can get a good seat, but I'm not. So AMC's got like, of course, they don't reserve
Yeah.
seats, so I'll have to get there like probably an hour or so before. So I might try that in Johnston, go up there. I don't know. We'll see.
Nah.
I'd like to see it early. you know,
Yeah.
And then review it. That'd be
Yeah.
cool. So that's all we have for today, everyone. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week. I'm Josh.
I'm Mitch.
And I'm Joey.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.